Hello, hello. How we doing tonight, guys? Thumbs up. Hope that means good. Hello. I am doing great myself, Justin. Thank you. It's been a weird weekend. I'm not gonna lie. Happy to get back to the charts, but I feel like it's like that every week. You guys can let me know if it's the same for you, but every time I hop back on my Sunday reviews and that first day of trading is feels good. Feels familiar. Good week coming, hopefully. I'm not gonna lie, right? We're gonna return to what we expected out of March because let's be honest here, it did exactly what we wanted up till the end. Right? Where I'm gonna bring us back, and I'll make sure that in the YouTube video I tag it, just look like at the top right of the screen. I'll put a little info card a minute in to go back to our statistical outlook. Right? March sets the low, right? Yes, definitely. That's looking into the year, right? But that's far. What we want to focus in the profiling of the current month, right? And we expected us to open, go down aggressively, and around we were looking at the between I think it was between the 10th and the 15th or the 12th and the 15th. We would set the low on Nasdaq, that was the 11th, on ES that was the 13th, right? I had on that right statistics app. Yes, sir. But that's what we were looking for, right? So we had a rundown, very aggressive, very clear, all the way down, but then we had a rough time going back up, right? That was the second part. We were looking to get back up and to close around the monthly open. At least that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a close even above the monthly open. I wanted to see us run aggressively and fully reverse this range. We've had a hard time going up. Right, very clearly on Nasdaq NES, right, we can see some bullishness, but then some big pullbacks led by consolidation going into the end of the previous week. Right, so it's very hard for me, but I still want to frame longs. That's all I'm really looking for. I want to see upside. I want to see us deliver up, and it's the same exact levels that we discussed last week, right? Because we're trading within the same range. So of course, this is our big range, right? Our longer term range. This is our short term range, still looking for upside. As we know, ES has already reached those levels. I still want to see price continue higher. When I look at consolidation, I expect SMT on both sides until a raid comes, right? Session SMT, yeah, well, we're looking at a daily chart right now, so not at a specific moment, but yes, intraday for res session SMT is a big thing. But just looking at this range, right, we went down to a 4-hour chart. We saw our first discount in efficiency here, which we did reach. We just failed to reach that high on NASDAQ when we did on ES, of course, forming SMT. Truth is, as I was saying, I still want to see upside. I want to see price go higher. Sorry, I have a little speck on my chart and it's pissing me off on my screen, sorry. But I still want to see upside. I want to see upside delivery, especially with how we closed on Friday. That's a very nice candle for us to see open with a small gap and just run aggressively higher, especially due to the fact that we have high impact news early on in the week. We could also see the start of the week be very boring. For example, form a big gap, see price trade lower going into Monday, and then Tuesday, I was forgetting the word there, Tuesday and Wednesday be a little slower until we get to the Thursday and Friday news and see some upside. But it's very hard for me to believe that we'll close above the monthly open. So I'll use that line as a gauge for premium and discount more so, right? So the closer we are to it, the more I'm going to want to see upside. But if we remain far from it, we might see another downside movement. Other than that, I still have the same exact levels, right? So I have my first premium inefficiency, which is this order block, right? This has not changed. I believe it's been 2 weeks we're looking at this level, right? So this is my upside objective, but I want to see price close aggressively through this level first before I can trust heading there. And once again, I'm using the full fair value gap that we have here and splitting it into quarters, looking for aggressive closes through these levels, followed by respect of the next specific levels. A little bit like we saw here between Friday and Monday. So Friday we closed above it, the next day we respect it. And now, of course, it does not work all the time, right? Here we close above the midpoint of it, right? The consequent encroachment. And on the next day, we went down very aggressively, not respecting the previous level. Yes, not liking the gap and Q not close. You still want it flipped? Yes, I still want us to fully reverse go higher. That is what I'm looking for. But of course, as always, I'm ready for any single thing to happen, right? So even though I am anticipating upside and I want to see upside, I'm going to take setups to the upside. It's the last week of the month, right? Stay loose, stay nimble. Exactly. Well said. Well said. So I'm just going to be looking for intraday frameworks, especially this level here at the high, because right now we formed a consolidation here, right? We have reached the low almost equally, I believe, if I remember correctly. So 19602.25, 604.25. So we actually barely took out the low here. It's a little hard to spot on a daily chart, right? Which is why I always use the open, high, low, close values. If you're wondering where those come from, it's in status line chart values right here. Definitely recommend that. So we took out the low, reversed. I want to see us reach for that high here. I'll use the correct colors so that's a little easier to spot. I want to see us reach for that high. That's simple. If we don't, since we already took it out at an ES and we do not have to, then I'm only going to be framing downside, expecting a continuation of this consolidation. But it's definitely not looking good for the following months if we're having this much trouble going up at the start of March. So not flipping the bias, we are in a bearish trend, but I would really like to see a reversal here, see some upside movement, at least to my first premium in efficiency, always, right? So this is my target, and depending on how we react here, I'm going to flip to continue lower or look for a reversal higher. Very simple stuff. If you zoom out, doesn't it look like fuckery of an LTL? Okay, so I don't use those terms at all because I don't want to entice people to go after those terms, because I have used those, I have run data, and in my opinion, that is absolute bullshit. That's my personal opinion. So I don't want to entice people to go towards those. I will respect anyone who uses it, but as I said, I don't want to send people in that way. But when we do tops and bottoms, as you say, we usually do some fuckery. What does that mean? Well, before we can reverse, we have to consolidate. We have to engineer liquidity, right? Just as we've seen right here. We had to consolidate a while before we could fully reverse lower. And as soon as we took out our important objective, we fully reversed. Well, if I'm looking for a long-term reversal to the upside, I need to see some form of key level being met, consolidation form, and us raid that consolidation. This is not enough for me. So when I say I expect a reversal, I want to see a reversal, I'm talking a reversal up to this buy-side liquidity here. Past this, we are not there yet. I cannot anticipate past this. But as I've said, with us being so far from the monthly open, it's very hard for me to frame this move higher as high probability. I want to at least see us trade to that order block, but the chances are, or the statistical probabilities of it, is that we just continue lower into a continuation of our bearish trend. It hasn't proven itself. Exactly. Do you guys have any questions, right? It's a pretty simple week. 3 trading days, most of them at the end of the week. On Monday, I expect to see a trending day, so I'm just going to be trading in the direction of that trend. And going into Thursday and Friday, we'll have more information to look for either continuations to this level higher or continuations lower, and then objectives are clear. The extremity of this range is my main objective. Of course, with the inducement we've seen, following that, we have some very clear objectives to follow through here on NASDAQ. Simple and clear. As always, lovely to hear it. All right, guys, well, you know, these outlooks are so quick, and I have the opportunity to keep it under 10 minutes, so we're going to leave it at that for tonight. It's a little different than the 40-minute to an hour PA reviews, right? But there's less things to talk about. The way I view the markets on the higher time frame is very simple. I look at this week. Where are my high probability moves? Where are my high probability levels? If we go up, this is my target. If we go down, this is my target. This is what I expect. This is how we'll interact. You guys have a great night. Good luck trading tomorrow. We'll have a PA review here Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night to see if we were right on this or not. You guys have a good one.